NFL Daily Mailbag time. Mitchell Renton. Go give my man Harrison Graham a follow on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. Every single Wednesday and Monday, we always ask y'all, hey, get your questions in during our live show. We go live Wednesday and Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. This first one's coming in from Dwayne Jackson. What up, my dude? If the Cowboys don't re-sign Dak by the draft, should Dak want out of Dallas next season or just blow it up? Wow.
Well, you're kind of asking conflicting questions here because you're asking should Dak want out, and then you're saying should the Cowboys blow it up. It's kind of two different things. I think that Dak has made it clear he wants to be in Dallas, and I don't think that's going to change unless they just get so ridiculous with these negotiations. I still think he wants to be there. As far as if Dallas should blow it up, I don't think they're in that territory. They have too much.
If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you should never blow it up.
No, I agree with you. Also, you have so much money tied up with key players on your team right now. It's kind of hard to just do that, especially like, what are you going to do? Trade Zeke? No one wants him. So you kind of just have to roll with what you got.
I still think the most likely scenario is that they tag Dak.
Yeah.
Tag him for like $39 million, see how the ankle's holding up, and if he has a good season,
pay him next year.
Jaden, what up, my man? Who should the Falcons bring in at DC and OC?
Don't care. Arthur Smith is calling plays anyway. Don't care about the OC. I would get aggressive on DC. If you don't have elite personnel, get someone who's willing to blitz, a Todd Bowles type. Obviously, they're not going to get Bowles, but someone of that ilk would be intriguing to me.
Bring him back to the South.
Larry Foote, he's coaching under Todd Bowles. I think he's an up-and-comer as well.
Super chat from Not Webb's World 1. Any chance Pittsburgh trades for Deshaun Watson?
I'd put them lower on the list. Unless Big Ben's willing to retire and leave some of that money on the table, salary cap reasons, I don't see how they can make it work.
Yeah, we made a video around all 31 teams trading for Watson. Pittsburgh didn't crack our top 10 for the reason that they have already Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to make $41 million, so there's really no reason for Deshaun to go there.
Is it possible? Yeah, you could make it happen. Is it likely?
No. Rashard Lee, should the Jags trade for Watson or just draft Trevor Lawrence?
This is not as simple as it sounds.
I mean, I might get hate here. If I have an opportunity to get Deshaun Watson, I'm taking it.
I kind of agree with you. Now, since they have the number 1 pick, I don't know if I'd give that third first. I'd probably be like, here, we'll give you number 1, our first next year, and a second this year as well, because that's the first pick of the second round, so that's almost the first.
Doesn't have a first or second.
See if they take it. I can't give more than that if I'm Jacksonville, because Trevor Lawrence is a damn good prospect.
I agree.
Now, if he wasn't in this draft, I'm like, hell yeah, here's 3 first-round picks. But Lawrence, good thing for Jacksonville, they're in a good spot, because worst-case scenario, you just draft Lawrence and you're ready to go. I would be intrigued, though. Number one next year, and then number 2 this year, that's a decent offer if you're Houston, so we'll have to wait and see.
Sam, wow.
Love the name.
Which cornerback would be better fit in Denver? Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech or Patrick Surtain from Alabama? Both very, very talented prospects. I know Tom has fallen in love with Caleb Farley and he's been in love with him for 2 years.
Freak athlete.
However, I just think it's Surtain. Surtain is my number 1 cornerback. I'm going to be able to split hairs. I don't really think you can go wrong either direction. Denver's 9th pick this year?
Yeah, he's the safer pick, and these guys are both like top 10 fringe type of prospects. They could go as high as 8 or 9 and as low as 15 or so, I'd say. As of now, certainly testing stuff could change that. Farley's kind of the more boom type of guy. If he hits, he could be really good because he's got the physical attributes. He's bigger, he's faster. Surtain's obviously more proven in a tougher conference, so I think you pick your poison there. I know a lot of experts like Surtain more than Trevon Diggs, who went to the Cowboys last year and did some good things. So Surtain's certainly a really good prospect. You can type PS for Patrick Surtain, CF for Caleb Farley. I'd probably go Surtain, but that could certainly change.
I'm probably going to go with PS as well, just because it's a simple fact of I'm going to try to play it a little bit more safe. Caleb Farley, though, maybe it's because I haven't seen him play in over a year, so we'll have to ultimately see. So obviously I'm the host on today's show, but what I want everyone to do today is go ahead, hit up my man Harrison Graham on Twitter. Go give him a follow. We're going to put his link in the live chat. Also, after today's show, he's going to take responsibilities in answering all your questions. So if you have more questions, go ahead, give him a follow on Twitter. It's at HGrahamNFL. All right, this one's coming in from Rob Efirm, 816.
Rob Firm.
Should the Jags go for Allen Robinson, pair him with T-Law?
Bring him back, baby. Bring him back. I don't think he's interested in going back. but I do know he's interested in exploring options.
As he should.
He's pissed off that Ryan Pace.
I would say he's the second biggest free agent behind Dak.
Yeah, Allen Robinson's the most underrated receiver in the NFL, and I'm not sure it's that close. If he played with a competent offense, I think he'd have a 1,500-yard season. I just think he's that good. They should have interest. Will he have interest? I think he wants to go to a team that can win right away, probably. So we'll see. Obviously, he's looking to cash out as well. So Allen Robinson's free agency is going to be very, very fascinating to watch. Hopefully the Bears bring him back. We'll just have to see. They can obviously franchise tag him as well.
This one's coming in from Rich Kirkland. Should Miami draft JaMarr Chase or Devonta Smith? Rich, if you're a Dolphins fan, go subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Dolphins News. Just crossed 10,000 subscribers. All right, so you're on the board. I'm guessing this is obviously pick number 3 here. JaMarr Chase or Devonta Smith. Let's say Penei Sewell got drafted number 2 overall. Trevor Lawrence is off the board. Chase, Smith, who's the better receiver? Who are you going with?
Okay, the first part of that's tricky because I'm not convinced one is better than the other. I think the better option for Miami, I think Smith complements Parker better because Parker's that big physical type of receiver that can high point the ball. Smith, you can do different things with. You can use him in the jet sweep action. You can throw it short to him. He can go deep. Chase is he's got some speed, but he's also a physical type of high point receiver as well. Would he be a bad fit? Of course not. But if you want kind of a different flavor on this offense, can do multiple things with him, I think Smith complements that offense better, gives him a different look from an offensive standpoint.
So type DS for Devonta Smith or type JC for JaMarr Chase. Who's the better wide receiver prospect? Scroll on down in the comments section and let us know. Let's go to Huddy Boy 197. Is Kyle Fuller elite?
He was excellent the first 8 to 10 weeks this year for the Bears. I mean, seriously, like fringe all-pro level. He was unreal. Last 6 games, not very good. It was really weird. His QB rating against over 100 the last month of the season. Now, part of that is their rookie corner Jalen Johnson and their nickel corner Buster Screen each missed the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, so he was the only competent corner out there. But he's always kind of been hit and miss as a cover guy, always been a hard-hitting corner. Elites, what's the definition of elite, right?
Elite to me is somebody who you can count on 16 games. I'm going to say he's not elite,
he's
but he's
really
very good.
He's not elite. He's not an all-pro, but he's a good corner.
Another super chat coming in. This one's from Reed Howard. A lot of Bears. If you guys are Bears fans, youtube.com/BearsNow. Yep, Bears fan here. Should I look for a competent team to follow and support, or should I just take my losses and settle for 30 more years of embarrassment?
Look, if you're a true fan, you never quit on your team. That's what I believe in. Obviously, the Bears have been a frustrating team to follow. They're reluctant to change. They want to keep, Ryan Pace forever for some reason. I don't think you should quit on the team. I mean, this team has made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years, regardless of how weird it's been. But I get the frustration. They got to find a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to watch a team in today's NFL that can't find a quarterback. Because they're everywhere, it seems like. Yet some of these organizations just can't seem to find one, and the Bears are certainly one of those teams.
Now, if you guys want more updates around the Chiefs, Bears, or NFL draft, NBA, H. Graham over here,
College
man, he
football.
does it all. So go give him a follow on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. So scroll on down. I believe it's going to be in the comments, the live chat as well. Hit him up. This dude's always putting out awesome content.
I'm trying to get on your level in the social media game. You've really taken off on IG. Follow Mitch over there, MitchellRins365. But trying to up my Twitter game, so appreciate you guys. I'm at HGrahamNFL. You see where Mitch is at on IG, at MitchellRins365.
Jose V, should the Cowboys pursue Richard Sherman in free agency?
I don't hate this idea. I don't think Sherman's an elite corner at this point, but 2-year deal, he's the best they would have. He would bring in that championship experience that they don't have. I think for the right price, this is actually a really good idea. And you might be able to get him for, not cheap, but not expensive either. Could you get him for 2 years and, $14 million? 7 per? Maybe.
See, I think Richard's going to be looking for a bigger, fatter contract than that
49ers
personally.
aren't giving it to him.
Hey, and I don't think that they honestly should. But Richard, I'm curious to see what he does in terms of if he stays as a cornerback, he'll get paid more. If he actually does what I think he should do and move to safety, I think he'll actually get paid a little bit less.
Don't think that'll happen this year. I think the next year that's more likely.
Okay. Evan Scott, do you guys think Fields is the biggest boom or bust player in the draft? If not, who?
I think there is some boom bust potential because when he's on, he looks
incredible.
better than Trevor Lawrence. When he's off, he's throwing interceptions to Indiana left and right. I think Zach Wilson's obviously a boom-bust guy. He's really only done it 1 year in college. Trey Lance, always quarterbacks are boom or bust.
I mean, they're going to go really, really high in the draft. The issue, I think, though, with Fields to me is this. Like, there's times where he looks like he's the greatest quarterback to ever come out of the Big Ten. Like, I'm not afraid to say that. And then there's other games, like you mentioned.
He can't hit the right side of a barn. Like, strange.
It's very, very hit or miss. And that's probably a guy that I don't really want to take in the top 5. But, hey, what do I know? So who gets drafted first, okay? Because we're believers that it's going to be Lawrence and then it's going to be Fields. They're going to be the top 2 guys. But who's going to be the third quarterback drafted? Is it going to be Zach Wilson from BYU type ZW? That's where I would vote. Trey Lance type TL? Or is it going to be Mac Jones type MJ? Who do you think is going to be the next quarterback draft?
I think Wilson and Fields will be 2, 3 in some order. I think you're right, probably Fields, but I wouldn't rule out Wilson in that regard. I think there's a chance Jones could jump Lance, though, for 4. I think that's the better question. I think Wilson, out of these 3, goes first, but Jones is a fast riser. Keep an eye on him over the next couple of months.
Howdy, boy. What up? Roquan Smith, biggest snub from first team All-Pro.
Yep, he got screwed.
I'm with you there. All right, let's go to Dwayne Jackson. Is Mike McCarthy already on the hot seat because of the way the season ended?
I would say he's on a very mild hot seat, but we know Jerry Jones a couple of things. 1, he's willing to give coaches a lot of time. 2, he doesn't want to admit he was wrong.
Yeah.
So,
that's true.
I think he'll get at least a third year unless, if he goes 4-12 next year, yeah, they might have to fire him. But I wouldn't say it's hot. Maybe it's mild, but I think he'll be back for at least a third season as well.
Seahawks fan, will the Seahawks sign J.J. Watt?
They can't sign him. He's under contract.
So the question there is, do you trade for him? Right now he's going to make about, I think it's like $17.5 million.
Dead cap might actually be 0.
It's 0.
Yeah.
I don't see Houston moving on from J.J. Watt. So if Seattle wants to give up a first-round pick, oh, wait. They don't have one for JJ.
Yeah, they can't get him. They don't have the capital unless they cut him, which that would be stupid.
Then Deshaun would be a 10 to a 60, 100 in terms of how angry he would be.
I have seen the theories of Deshaun and Watt trade packages, sending them together somewhere. How wild would that be?
What up, Shanav? What will the Denver Broncos do in free agency? Trade Vaughn.
There's a lot of drama around Von Miller. He's actually being investigated for that whole girlfriend text messages thing of, I don't want to.
Let's not even get.
I don't want to do that. You guys can look up the story if you want. And then she retracted the statement. It's a huge mess. He's being investigated, so check that out. We'll cover more Broncos stories throughout the offseason at chatsports.com/BroncosTV.
But for Denver and free agency, what do you do with Justin Simmons? What are you going to do with Von Miller? Do you bring back Shelby Harris? And is Drew Lock your future? That's something that you're going to have to honestly look at and decide. But we did just launch a Broncos channel, chatsports.com/BroncosTV. Seriously, please go check it out.